shit, Mitch!
You got a free show.
Denny, need some color?
The movie begins with a pregnant woman seeking shelter from the heavy rain. Unfortunately, she is struck by lightning and immediately rushed to the hospital. While the woman does not survive, doctors manage to save her baby, who was born prematurely due to the incident. After delivery, the doctors discover that the baby has albinism, a genetic condition that makes his skin extremely pale and his eyes highly sensitive to light. Because of this, his father abandons him soon after birth, leaving him to be raised by his grandparents. 18 years later, his grandfather passes away from natural causes, leaving no one to care for him. As a result, the police arrive to investigate and contact Jessie, a child services psychologist, requesting that she take custody of the boy. The locals inform the police that the child has lived in the basement his entire life, never attending school and spending all his time working on the farm. Upon meeting him, they are astonished by his unusual appearance, but Jessie senses he is a good-hearted boy. The boy introduces himself as Jeremy. Jessie is surprised that he speaks fluently despite never receiving a formal education. She notices an extensive collection of books in his basement and decides to test his intelligence. Jeremy impresses her by reciting the full contents of any page she names, revealing his remarkable intellect, which he developed by constantly reading. Jessie takes him to a boys' home since he is now under state care. There, he faces judgment and bullying from others but astonishes them with his extraordinary abilities. His brain emits a strong electromagnetic charge, causing electrical disruptions around him, especially when he is emotional. Jessie provides Jeremy with special contact lenses that allow him to see in daylight and enrolls him in high school. In his first physics class, he meets Donald, the teacher. During an electricity experiment, Donald realizes Jeremy has supernatural powers when he accidentally causes a lightning strike. In shock, Donald smashes the equipment with a chair, leading to Jeremy being rushed to the hospital. Fortunately, the doctors confirm that he is unharmed. Later, a professor informs him that his IQ is the highest ever recorded. Though his abilities make him exceptional, they also isolate him from others. During a school hunting trip, a student named John, who sees Jeremy as a freak, threatens him with a gun. Before he can shoot, a distant gunshot interrupts them. They rush over to find a sheriff's deputy, Harley, who has just killed a doe. Deeply affected by the deer's death, Jeremy touches both the animal and Harley, making the deputy feel the pain and fear of the dying deer. Overwhelmed by the experience, Harley removes all the guns from his home, though Sheriff Doug allows him to remain a deputy without a firearm. Sheriff Doug later seeks Jeremy's help in communicating telepathically with his dying wife. Through Jeremy, Doug learns that his wife is holding on to life because she is not wearing her wedding ring and has unresolved issues with their estranged son, Stephen. She reveals that Stephen had already found the ring, which was in a silver box on her nightstand. In the end, Doug places the ring on his wife's finger and reconciles with Stephen, allowing his wife to pass away peacefully. Jeremy eventually falls in love with a classmate named Lindsay, who secretly shares his feelings. He touches her hand, revealing his telepathic ability, allowing them to read each other's thoughts. Lindsay struggles with insecurity, believing she is not beautiful enough, but Jeremy reassures her of her beauty. However, their moment is interrupted by Lindsay's father, who forbids their relationship. Jessie arrives at the right time and warns him not to interfere with Jeremy. Lindsay and her father leave, leaving Jeremy feeling hurt. Heartbroken, Jeremy decides to leave the juvenile facility and return to his farm. While walking away, John and a group of boys confront him, mocking him and stealing his hat. They escalate their harassment, stripping him naked and humiliating him. As his emotions intensify, his powers manifest, pulling at their metal buttons and piercings. Suddenly, a powerful electromagnetic pulse erupts, throwing Jeremy into a mud puddle and knocking everyone else to the ground. John's heart stops, but Jeremy quickly revives him with an electric shock. Afterward, Jeremy returns to his childhood farm, only to find that all his belongings are gone. Soon, Jessie, Donald, and Doug arrive, urging him to leave with them and find a place where he will be accepted. However, Jeremy chooses to run into an open field, where a bolt of lightning strikes him, causing him to vanish in a blinding flash. The electrical surge also affects Jesse, Donald, Harley, and Doug as they witness his disappearance.